Welcome to the Improve and Have Fun podcast. My name is Paul V. Perez, and on this podcast, I work on improving myself while having fun along the way with the hopes of encouraging you to do the same. And I do so by documenting my life and interests. And on this episode, I'm going to be giving my thoughts on Sam Mendes' new film, 1917, which came out a limited release at the end of December in New York and Los Angeles. I was fortunate enough to go see it. One theater that was playing it at Lincoln Center, which has been there forever, the Lowe's. And this was a fantastic movie. As of recording this, I was telling a coworker that this is one of my favorites of the year. It was that good. The podcast should be coming out very soon as well in terms of my talking about favorites of 2019 TV shows and movies. But first, let me give you a brief description on what 1917 is about. So this is on Wikipedia here. 1917 is a 2019 epic war film directed, co-written, and produced by Sam Mendes. The film stars George McKay, Dean Charles Chapman, Mark Strong, Andrew Scott, Richard Madden, Claire de Burke, with Colin Firth, Benedict Cumberbatch. The film is based in part on an account told to Mendes by his paternal grandfather, Alfred Mendes. It chronicles the story of two young British soldiers during World War I in the spring of 1917, who were given a mission to deliver a message. It warns of an ambush during a skirmish soon after the German retreat to the Hindenburg Line and Operation Albrecht. Now, in watching this movie, the thing that impressed me the most was the camera work, and that was like the main selling point of the movie, where the camera, it never stops. It's always on the two actors that are going to deliver this message. And the movie makes you feel like you're a third person going through this with these two soldiers. And that, to me, is the highlight of the movie. I was amazed. Like, I was totally immersed in the movie. The movie was about a little under 2 hours long, completely immersed in this camera alongside the soldiers, and they're just having conversations back and forth, and then crazy stuff happens. It's, like I said, it was phenomenal. Now, what I didn't understand was the character, or the real person, played by actor George McKay. He kept saying that he couldn't go back home, that there was a reason that he didn't want to go back home, and I really did not understand what that was about. That was like my only, like I said, negative with this film. That wasn't very clear. There are spoilers in this, in my thoughts here in my notes, so just please be aware of that. In the end, he takes out a picture of his family, I'm assuming his wife and child, and it says to come home on the back of the picture. But like I said, I just didn't understand that whole thing. He couldn't go back home. The picture said to go back home. I didn't understand that. Other notes here are it was very intense. It had definitely some thriller aspects to it. It had some very gory things in there as well. It's a war movie. It was suspenseful. It really had me on the edge of my seat. I never felt like I was bored. Never. The movie had me hook, line, and sinker. And the movie is very physical. It made me think about police officers, right? Or even military soldiers. They have all this gear that they carry with them all the time. So they have an extra, 20, 30, 40 pounds of gear on them. These actors in this movie, when you're watching it, George McKay, he's the main star, right? He was in a Captain Fantastic movie with Viggo Mortensen, 2016 fantastic movie. I recommend that. And he's running around with all of this gear, the gun and the thing that they drink water of, and all this other equipment back and forth. And I was like, my God. And he's running plenty in this movie, and I just really was like surprised by that. Like, his movie's very physical. He's in the water, he's running, he's getting shot at, going downstairs, and all with all this equipment on. Like, I was like, this is crazy. The landscapes were beautiful. Like I said, the way the movie is shot, the cameras with the actors the whole time, and the landscapes, the backgrounds, and like he goes into this one burning city in Italy, and like you felt the danger, you felt that the city was destroyed. You know, it's like I said, the movie, it's beautiful. It's the cinematographer in the film is Roger Deakins, and this guy is like the things that this guy has done: Blade Runner 2049, The Shawshank Redemption, No Country for Old Men, Skyfall, Sicario. I could just read you the list of the films that this man has been a cinematographer for, and he makes beautiful looking images on the screen, definitely. Honestly, it makes me kind of want to see Blade Runner 2049 again. The part that I did get emotional was when Schofield, played by George McKay, he has to deliver the message that his brother was killed on his way to tell his other brother and his whole platoon, his whole, to not go into this battle. But the moment that he finally delivered the message, it was very emotional. I got emotional in watching it. The story successfully builds to that moment, and you feel for these characters for sure. The French woman that he finds, and it wasn't Italy, I was wrong. It's a city, a small destroyed city in France. It adds a moment of levity in this whole violent epic of a movie. The fact that he runs into a baby and a woman and them just simply trying to survive, like I said, adds a moment of tenderness, a moment of levity. In that scene, she even tells him, it's like, if I can remember correctly, to stay, and Schofield is like, I have to keep going. I have my mission, and I have to deliver this message to this man's brother, this man who was my friend, who passed away, who was my military brother, passed away, and I have to deliver the message to his brother and to their platoon. But I don't have many notes for 1917, but it's a movie I highly recommend. It's going to be coming out in wide release on January the 25th, 2020, I believe. I highly recommend this movie. It is in my best of films that I've seen in 2019, and if you have not seen it, are you going to go see it? And if you have seen it, I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear what you have to say, what you think. And you can do so if you're watching this on YouTube and down below. Or if you're listening to the audio version, the podcast version, you can go onto the blog at improveandhavefun.com and let me know. And that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. There's all the ways that you can contact me and support the podcast. You will see those in the notes for this episode. And that's that for now.